Sunday, the church celebrates Epiphany, the manifestation of Jesus. And there's a few moments in Jesus' life that are particularly moments of showing forth, of manifestation, of Epiphany. The ancient church gathered together three of those in its celebration of Epiphany and always celebrated together the Magi, the baptism of the Lord, and the wedding feast at Cana. And I think even as today we focus on the Magi that come from the east bearing gifts of gold and incense and myrrh led by a star, even as they are focused, this manifestation of God's salvation, of God's gift, of God's grace to the nations, and the response of those nations to whom Jesus would later send out the apostles in mission to proclaim the good news. Already they've heard this good news and come to worship. But there's more to this, because the three ancient stories of God manifesting himself, these three ancient stories are stories that tell us something about the God who manifests himself. And I think that that's brilliant. I mean, on the one hand, we have what is manifested of God from the kings who come and bring gold for a king, right? That they come, these wise men, and bring incense and myrrh. Incense because he is divine, and myrrh because of his mortality and a prelude to his suffering, to one day maybe anoint his body. That these gifts say something about Jesus, but so does the way that he manifests his presence. First, as a little baby, right? And in that vulnerable state, he calls out for, but can't demand, the love that a baby needs, and a relationship of love. And our God is willing to present himself to us as a baby, to ask for our love. And maybe not all will. Maybe Herod will raise up his armies against a baby. But a baby without an army today manifests himself and invites us into a relationship of love. And then we find ourselves at the banks of the Jordan, and the Baptists trying to say, Jesus, you can't be baptized by me. You're the Messiah. I'm just a prophet, right? You have that whole backstory. But Jesus goes into the water and is baptized by John because he stands with us. He comes to save us, but he's manifested as one who stands with us, one who walks at our side, one whose love isn't just showered from above, but comes as the love of a brother who is with us, who stands in the water with us, who receives the grace of salvation with us, even though he is the author of that salvation. And then finally, maybe the hardest, right? The wedding feast of Cana is how Jesus chooses to manifest himself, and his disciples begin to believe in him. But what does he do? He makes 180 gallons of wine to give to a handful of people that already had too much to drink. Like that Jesus, throughout his ministry and life, shows that he's not scared to enjoy life with us, that he's not scared to walk with us, share our laughter and our play, that he's not even scared to share a glass of wine with us. And for us to see that abundance of life and grace as his manifestation, that he isn't manifesting himself as one lost away in a monastery or a temple, that he isn't manifesting himself as one who dedicates his days to silence and solemn prayer. He manifests himself as a vulnerable child, inviting us to love him. He manifests himself as one of us, our brother, standing at our side in the water as the baptismal flow comes over us. And he manifests himself as one who's not scared to share with us the tears and the joys of our life.